Chapter 5. The Seduction of Pessimism. We all have a common bias that may affect how we think about money, pessimism. Whether you've lost your job or you've lost money, it's easy to feel pessimistic about the future. But if you look back across the years, you can see that things have generally gotten better. For example, after World War II, Japan experienced economic, social, and political devastation. And then, in 1946, it faced a famine so terrible that people had to subsist on 800 calories a day. Husserl asks us to imagine the following news article as though it were written during that time. Chin up, everyone. Within our lifetime, our economy will grow to almost 15 times the size it was before the end of the war. Our life expectancy will nearly double. Our stock market will produce returns like any country in history has rarely seen. Most Japanese people would think the writer of that article was insane. That's because many of us perceive pessimism as intelligent and think optimism sounds like a sales tactic. And yet, in the case of Japan, this optimistic outlook was correct. Why are we so quick to embrace pessimism over optimism? And how does it affect how we deal with money? The key idea is we're prone to pessimism because good things take time. Pessimism is attractive and common, especially when it comes to money, for a few reasons. First off, money matters to all of us. So when something bad happens in the economy, we're likely to pay attention. For example, even though only 2.5% of Americans owned stock in 1929, the entire country was devastated when the market crashed. This still applies today. Even though only roughly half of Americans own stock, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is a common metric for how the economy is doing. Another reason why pessimism is so pervasive, Husserl explains, is that bad news tends to have a clearer arc. This is likely because there are many overnight tragedies, but few overnight miracles. So, optimistic narratives are harder to construct because they have to encompass a wider swath of time. For example, we're likely to quickly notice a 40% decline in the stock market over 6 months. But a 140% gain over 6 years might go unnoticed because it happens incrementally. Although pessimism is attractive, it's important to remember that good things, especially when it comes to money, take time. Furthermore, we don't need to be pessimistic to be practical. Instead, we can be optimistic, as Husserl defines it, a belief that the odds of a good outcome are in your favor over time, even if there are setbacks along the way. So, when the nightly news highlights another blow to the economy, you can remember that things generally trend upwards.